Good afternoon, free enterprise fans. It's Nitsky coming at you here with Kobahi with another one of our Highway to the Threemus Zone Magma Route matches. We've got Couch 23, we've got cassidymoen. How you doing today, Kobahi?
Doing pretty good. Excited for this race. See how these two runners fare with the seed that we have in place for them today.
Yeah, it's definitely not. I don't think it's going to be a jetty. It's quite possible, but the way it's shaping up there, get the rat tail, go down to the land of summon monsters and defeat the queen, and everybody's favorite, conquer the giant of Babel. We're all secretly hoping that that will be a requirement.
Yeah,
And with our favorite white mage, Porum, shout out. It's,
yeah. I mean, not the highest damage right away, but with free characters available, we'll be filling out our teams and hopefully getting some weapons to go along with them.
Absolutely. You put a bow on Porum. She'll throw arrows in a pinch. Um, she can do other stuff. You know, she's got that twin spell. Maybe another Porum or another Palom. If people don't know, in Free Enterprise you can do twin with two Porums, two Paloms. It doesn't matter. So if it is a double Porum, they definitely will like that. Because that gets you some damage off the top of the seed there. So I'm really excited. Both these runners finished 2-1 in the group stages, and are definitely very good friends. They race in other randomizers, Super Metroid, I believe. I don't know if they do the Super Metroid Z3 combo. They've been actually practice racing against each other this week, so I don't know if they've learned anything from each other. But one will go to hopefully 1-0, and one will be 0-1. Neither one will be eliminated, but definitely it is looking very hype as they start the race here. We do have our best girl Porum with Sid. Not too bad. And a Sand Ruby, another character to look at. So could be easy. We'll see if any of them peak that character, if they go and just do the standard looting here. But I am really excited.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with Sid already, they have at least a beefy frontliner. All they need to find is an axe for some okay damage. And with that Sand Ruby, they have so many options for them for their party coming up.
Absolutely. Sid, there could have been much trollier characters provided there, so I would definitely say Porum Sid. You could definitely have a worse option there, as Couch goes into Mist, while Cassidy goes to get some free characters. It looks like he's gonna see who's there. Couch is getting stuff, and we've got an Edward and another Sid. Very interesting.
So probably not the favored characters, but I mean, it's something to work with at this point.
No, exactly. For those first two bosses, you have a couple of Sids. He's got a wooden hammer there. He can take care of some business there. Good enough. This Couch is going to do what technically Couch does in most of his seeds. It's a Couch sales-a-thon. He will sell his inventory and buy stuff. So definitely very excited for that, as he continues to do some looting here. It's good to see some divergence in the beginning here in regards to that, as we see Cassidy leave Mysidia. He's going to go to looks like dancing. He's gonna pick up the free character there. So we do have the free character flag on. So that basically means there are instances, just like in the vanilla game, where you pick up free characters without having to do a battle. He's gonna loot the Damsian treasury. Nothing of real consequence at this point in regards to that.
Looks like we have another Sid in the bed at Kaipo, so it's a very Sid-filled seed so far. And we also saw Couch turn in most of the stuff he looted to get a wizard robe for his Porum.
Definitely good. That increases, I believe, Wizard Robe increases Wisdom, I believe, +5. And another Sid. Well, Ali, maybe your new moniker will be Sid Specialist, as that is now the 4th Sid in the sea. As we see Couch going to the watery pass, I will have a small chuckle if there's another Sid here.
It's a Cade.
Oh, just a Kane. Who wants Kane? Boo.
Kane is usually a much better choice than Sid, so Couch is going to be very happy seeing that there.
Yes, seeing another Sid, he might have wondered what he got himself into. Looks very spicy. Spicy demist at the waterfall there.
Yeah, so Cassidy taking a chance and checking that waterfall spot, finding the demist, which is kind of the chase thing at these spots. So if Couch doesn't end up checking that, Cassidy could end up with a nice little advantage.
Definitely could. If it turns out to be a Moonveil, however, Couch might have faded something well. He may not check that right away, so we will definitely see how this works out. He's got the party. The problem is demist will hit 3 times and then turn into mist, but in this spot, this is the fastest boss spot in the whole game with Octomam normally. So look for demist, even though demist just got slowed a little bit there. Look for demist to punch quickly and turn into mist. And it's not going to be the fastest fight on the planet, let me tell you, folks.
No, but even with it not being the fastest, getting it out of the way, not knowing you don't have a search on your hand is always helpful.
Yes, not having to dive Zot and go to the Mega Sisters to find demist is always nice to see there. So I'm sure he's not mad. It's a little slow, but if it works out, then it's definitely worth the time he's putting in right now. That's for sure.
See Couch picking up his 3rd Sid, hasn't gone to Mysidia yet, so doesn't have a chance to throw away one for an Edward or take a 4th one for reasons.
Exactly. So Kane starts out with some really garbage gear, but if you find the right gear for Kane, he can definitely do work. So I don't think, especially with all these other Sids, I don't see Couch getting rid of his Kane there for a Sid. I could be wrong, but I doubt it. He goes into the first. I'm just gonna say first normal boss here that we normally go into in the Antlion Cave. We got a ninja helm there. That's kind of a nice pickup.
Yeah, unfortunately for Sid, most of his best gear, besides maybe the Earth Hammer, Kane can also equip and use it better. So
yeah, nothing against Sid. He's an HP powerhouse. Obviously, he's got 788 hit points, I believe, to start, which is a lot more than the 190 that Kane starts with. So he's obviously a bit more of a tank there. But
did Cassidy accidentally just trash can a ribbon?
No, for the memes. I mean, I've heard that you're supposed to trash your ribbons, but that's a joke. That didn't actually happen.
Don't worry, there's another one. It's all good.
Another one, just never punished. Couch did pick up an ogre axe, so that will definitely go to work here. As we have Dark Knight Cecil. How boring.
I mean, with this many Sids in this position, this is not a fight. You just sit there and wait. Oh no, he's attacking.
That's right, get him. We don't want to wait. Although he might be regretting that decision, but with 3 Sids, he might just pull this off before the 3rd one here. Because in this spot, Antlion only has 1,000 hit points, I believe. And yeah, look at that, saved himself touch of time there, so that's not too bad.
Yeah. So Cassidy immediately throwing away one of those Sids for Kane, and Couch showing us the Magma key in the Antlion Cave.
So normally, I believe up to this point, all the restream matches, the Magma route had Hook to get underground, and all the Hook routes had Magma. This is the first one I've seen where it's Magma route with Magma key. So Couch not fading Antlion, which is part of Couch's charm. Not getting punished here. He will have underground access, which definitely opens up things for him. We'll see if he continues to loot the overworld a bit more before he does that, or if he's just gonna go straight for the gold. I don't blame him.
Yeah, we see Cassidy going to check out the bed and kite post, seeing another Sid, turning around and walking away. I already had enough of them.
Yes, he's all sitted up, I believe. So he will definitely be happy to not have that there. Some vampires, which can be useful. In the Agard item shop, we're gonna drop a key down a well, and something's gonna happen. I think some sort of explosion of some sort. So, being told in chat is the second Magma match that's been restreamed with Magma key. Thanks, Neobari. I must have missed the first one.
Cassidy's gonna head into Mist and show us what that D-Mist is going to uncover for him here.
See if he is rewarded for his bold play here. And our item is...
Ooh, the pan.
Yeah. Definitely could be important.
Yeah, so the pan could lead to, a lot of early checks, especially with Magma Key being an antlion. If that's where Cassidy ends up heading next, we could see an immediate underground to pan to Fabul to also make everything a nice one trip.
The one trip Fabul, every FE runner's dream. Only having to go to Fabul once, because you got that cutscene, you got a talking king, and it's just bad. So people like to avoid Fabul wherever possible, it seems. So that could definitely work out for them.
Yeah, we do see Couch looting up the Dwarf Castle. Can get some decent stuff. The best thing I've seen so far is a Blizzard Spear for the Cane, but...
There was a Gungnir Spear for sale in the weapon shop, I think I saw there.
Yeah, but affording that at this point could be a little tricky, so...
Well, that sounds like a challenge to Couch. And there's another cane on the mountain, and your dream of Kinazo at Ruby is dead. Unfortunately, Kobai, I'm sorry to hear.
Well, they have the Magma Key anyway, so it doesn't matter. Immediately trading in that cane, one of the Sids for another cane. Starting to look a little better as a physical pouty than, multiple Sids, so...
Yes, definitely. I'm sure Cassie is relieved that he has a second cane. He just needs to gear him up a little bit. This was still a little bit of a pain in this spot. Actually, not really. I'm just kidding. This should be pretty much over and done with. Kinazo's wave is based on his current HP total, so and I believe it's 4% of what his current HP is what the wave damage is. So just keep hacking away at him there, and he'll go down. Edward being down is not a big deal. So.
We also, Couch gives us the obligatory job dwarf. We have a veterinarian today.
Good. Keep your animals spayed and neutered.
Yeah, we also found Starvales and Bacchus wines in that shop, so probably see a return there later, especially with the pouty we have in store.
Yeah, it's gearing up to be a physical heavy party, so I would not be surprised if Couch comes back later for those.
On Cassidy's side, we do see Kanazo hiding in the shell, so only a matter of time before this is taken care of.
Yeah. Knowing Remedy comes out from Kanazo, it just kind of prolongs the process a little bit longer, but he's got enough damage take care of him there.
And Couch finding the Luca key in the Famouch here, so silk webs in the shop, so another key item. Luca key could be useful for a grind later, depending on what becomes available to our runners.
and that goal of 10 key items, even though in this flag set our runners can bypass the sealed cave, it still counts as a key item. So 3 to 10, it looks like potentially free fight at the queen. It looked as though the guards, I believe, are married to the three imps. So I believe that's how it goes. The king and queen are married, and that's it's a bit of a complicated relationship there, I'm just gonna say. Looks like Couch he's gonna know about that, which I don't blame him.
Unfortunately for Couch here, he's gonna do a Sheila 1 check here, which is gonna be a little bit of a time waster if he does eventually find that D-Mist, but if it's required.
Absolutely, we see Cassie looks like he's gonna go up ordeals, which I don't hate it, just because you know, you run into a Tella, you want his spells to be all there. You run into a Cecil, we can chat, we can discuss the pro Cecil, anti Cecil. We can have that debate till we're all blue in the face.
I mean, it's an interesting scenario right now that we've had Couch do Antline with got to the Magma key, but Cassidy has thus far avoided the Antline cave.
Fading Antline might come back, but we'll see. It's possible there's a hook here. It wouldn't be the fastest play, but it would definitely be a play. That's for sure. I know, Pizza, you hate to see it. Antlines for me personally is always my first check, but it's poor. It's a poor. Just in case you need another kid white mage.
It's also possible that Cassie might be waiting to get the exit spell to do Antline, trying to save time on that walkout.
That's true. I was secretly hoping for another Sid, but... And it looks as though the D-Lunars are angry and are going to try and burn Fabul down to the ground. Unfortunately, they are susceptible to Cure 2. Cure spells being undead, so... on Cassie's side, does this even randomize? You got Mylon and Friends in the Mylon and Friends spot.
Vanilla ordeals, well, with a twin kind of waiting for you, but
Yeah.
I mean, another interesting point, Couch has the Luca key. You can fade that check, but we haven't found a character that allows us to do that yet.
Nope, that's true. So far, could this be the first seed where Warp Glitch just doesn't happen? I don't think personally I've ever seen it, but so far maybe that Luca key does come back to be super important. Only time will tell.
Yeah, it's interesting to see. We will see what Couch does get here from the Fabul battle from the King. We have received a ribbon. So there's a lot of ribbons in the scene.
There are a lot of ribbons, at least 3 that we know of. And maybe even more. Ribbon is definitely not a helmet I would throw away. It is it's a pretty good helmet, I would say.
We get the Sheila 1 check here on Couch's side, getting us an Artemis bow. So not a key item, but a decent weapon, especially with Singe in the pony.
Yeah, what do you think's the worst troll? D-Mist hiding in Zot, or having on this flag set having to do Sealed Cave because you don't have a character that can get warp as a requirement?
Both could be very interesting trolls, but I don't know. I feel like
Go ahead.
I was going to say, I feel like a lot of these runners in their practice probably never had to end up doing Sealed Cave, though. I mean, it could also be used as a grind spot, especially with all these ribbons. Could be very useful to kill some trapdoors.
Now, Absolutely, absolutely. I would be interested to see Darkness Crystal hiding down there and required to go through it. Personally, that's my dream right now. That's what I would like to see. Make it very fun. Because so far, 4 Sids, 2 Canes, 2 Porums. That's pretty standard. Pretty plain at this point, I would say.
Yeah, it looks like we have Couch actually coming up on Mount Ordeals as well, so joining Cassidy up on the mountain. Whereas our second fight is is this actually even randomized?
Allie, what have you done here? You have made Ordeals basically. Where's my trash can?
To be fair, we do know that Dark Knight Cecil is not in the mirror.
This is true. This is very true. Where's my trash can? We'll get this over in about 8 seconds.
Well, sadly, I don't think either of our players took the second twin, so.
Boo. Oh well. One can only hope. I don't anticipate this being a problem for either of our runners. Couch being a veteran of the vanilla speed run, knows how these fights go, knows how the boss mechanics work. So I don't anticipate any problems here. Cassidy has been around for a really long time. He also knows how these vanilla bosses go. So definitely no issues there. That's for sure. But interesting that that Couch has decided to make the Ordeals play. Very interesting. And it looks as though Lindsay is down on Cassie's side.
I mean, it could be that both these players are thinking of the Dwarf Castle thing too, going to areas that have extra characters, looking for someone with that warp spell, and now that they're here, just kind of finishing it off.
Yeah, absolutely. And there is a key item here at the end of our journey. So definitely a possibility there.
Cassie about to show us what we receive on Ordeals, and then we will see who is in the mirror, and it's not going to be vanilla.
Very sad.
We have a tower key.
Well, for all you keyless tower fans, looks like that's not going to happen this time.
So we may not get vanilla mirror, but we still get another one of our party members hidden in the mirror. Apparently Yang is the true Dark Knight of this scene.
It's a very angry karate man. Very angry. Again, good news. He only has about 1,000 HP here, so this should not be a problem. And there we go. Unfortunately, sometimes you'd like to see Yang in some other more difficult spots. Same with Dark Knight Cecil. So just means there's some rudeness still out there. Don't worry. Wyvern's still out there. Valvalis is still out there. Golbez is still out there. So there's still some chances to troll our runners here as they continue on their quest to light up some numbers and get some objectives done.
Well, it'd be interesting to see where Cassidy goes next. I believe he still has Baron Inn, Antlion, and I guess Fabul, but I would assume they're going to leave Fabul to last while holding that pan in case they get any access to the underground, which we know they can.
Yeah, I would. We haven't seen Baron Inn yet. I don't think.
No, no one I don't think went into Baron, so we don't know what character is there or bosses potentially.
Looks as though Cassie's gonna take this opportunity to hop into Silvera here, one of our towns that gets normally lost in the vanilla speedrun. But it can definitely have some items hiding in the bushes there. And Cassie's taking a look at the weapons here. Is an ogre axe. You don't hate to see that, especially with all your Sids hanging out.
Yeah, there's also a Blizzard spear that they may be interested in. We'll see what they decide to buy here after selling, or just getting rid of some stuff in their inventory.
Inventory boss can be the toughest boss in this game. See some equipping here, and some Cure 2s, some Kamikazes, and a Mute Bell. Mute Bell definitely important to pick up at least one. Cassie's going to pick up 7. That's interesting.
We do have Couch making that Baron in trip. We do see another Kane, with the King and Queen of Eblon goading him, so sadly a free fight in a free spot.
Yes, you hate to see it. It's very sad for our runners. I anticipate that second Kane being picked up, but Couch has surprised me before, so.
3 Sids in the pody. I can't imagine one of them is long for this pody.
Yeah, three Sids is a little much. Oh, and look who it is.
Fun.
So it's our old pal, ha ha ha. Get your lol bezzes out in chat.
I mean, luckily for this is a relatively slow spot, so being able to get a Snowveil off, if they so choose afterwards, should be pretty easy.
Absolutely, but
we do have Cassidy about to join in this Golbez shenanigans, so
he has a ribbon, so ribbon does have the anti-death protection on it, so it's possible that old Shadow there might target, and Cassie might have 3 people up. Definitely see. Yeah, and he did trash that other ribbon. He could have saved even more of his characters.
Even the virus in the spot, not even doing that much damage. Pretty low magic at this spot, so.
Yeah, it's not going to be too tough. I only just recently learned, though, however, you need to actually attack Golbez for the Y script to actually activate. You can't just reflect in perpetuity.
Yeah, it's because it's one of those basically counterattack scripts that go off, which we see a lot of things avoided later, sometimes with some walling, but I mean, it looks like Couch is making very quick work of this Golbez. We already see the Y script. Pretty easy in this position.
Absolutely. It looks as though Cassie did get another one of his members to survive, and like we said there, Golbez pretty slow.
Ooh, and we find a Twin Hope.
Potentially some music, chat. Get your Freen harps out. Very exciting. And
it looks like Couch is deciding which of his Sids to get rid of.
Rip, I don't know which Sid that was, Scala, but Construction Sid, as I will call him, because he had the yellow hat, is taking a nap. Taking a nap. You hate to see it, but you don't. Especially since you got some decent gear. You got that ribbon for new Kane. Strength ring. Oh, that was Job Dwarfs. Thanks, Scala. I appreciate it. Hard to come up with stuff on the fly sometimes. Or it was Wario. Nice. Yep. So far, still no black mages. Not even your fake black mage buddy Tella. So it looks as though Couch is going to make the fans happy. Is gonna go and make this check. It's very interesting with underground available, other options there. Whistle and the Choco Butt. That's worth 10 grand, so definitely worth it there.
We see Cassidy also taking out Golbez, about to get Twin Hope and the choice of another Kane, although I believe he has an Artemis Bow Sid, so we'll see if he actually takes this third Kane here. Could always move the Threemus mode to Ed mode, I guess. Or get rid of the Ed mode. And that's what he does.
Oh, sorry, Edward. You made it this far. Play the whistle song. I've honestly, Skull, I've never heard the whistle song, so I would be interested to hear it. Looks like Couch is going to do a little more looting here. Dream Sword. It's a fun weapon for King.
It looks like we have Cassidy also going that Twin Hub, still fading that Antlion Cave with a Magma key.
Very interesting.
Looks like he's going to do a little bit of looting in the bit of the treasury that he can access here first.
Definitely prudent. There are up to nine chests here, so he's gonna see 6, and we'll see if there's anything Rune Axe. I'd like to see that.
Now, it looked to be about the best thing that he was able to get. One of his canes still has, just a spear on, so looks like we'll be trading out for that Rune Axe here. A little bit of an upgrade.
You definitely don't hate to see it as we see Couch go into the Dark Elf fight, and he's trying to kill off his characters, but he's not successful. There we go. So myself and Kobai go silent for a little bit and let you guys hear some music.
Looks like we do get some nice vintage ice hockey music, and we find Dr. Luge here in the Magnus Cave.
Nice! I can't wait to watch the VOD of this, because I've got the sound muted. That's ice hockey is pretty cool. And Dr. Luggage hiding behind him. Not too difficult at this spot. Get that Sid berserked and one shots Dr. Luge.
So Cassidy ends up finding some exits in Troya and is going immediately to the Antlion Cave now.
Finally has taken 31 minutes to fade Antlion, and now is finally going to get rewarded. And still 31 minutes in, no objectives lit up.
As Chat pointed out, one of the mean things about Dr. Luge in this spot is when he does transform in his second fight, he takes the music with him. He
does. Is a very, very rude boss when he takes away our ice hockey music. So. And
we'll see. The Twin Hub yields a package. I mean, that could be a warp character. Is it worth doing the package if it's a warp character to fade Luca Cave?
Chat, tell us what you would do. How would you play it? You have no black mage. Would you go and check that package, or would you fade package altogether and just hope in Dwarf Cave that you get a Tella? Basically, you're looking at a Tella at this point, because Helm would need some levels, and Rydia would also.
Needs, yeah, Palam actually needs a decent amount of levels to get it to. Rydia loads it pretty early. Yeah, Fluffy, the D-Mist is in the Octomom spot. Unfortunately for Couch, he has not checked that yet, so he still thinks that the D-Mist is out there lurking somewhere. So Cassidy finally gets their Magma key. Maybe a little disheartened that they skipped this early, but we'll see. Bakashinomi pointed out Palam needs about 100,000 experience in order to learn Warp.
Yeah, and he's definitely not going to get that in the first couple of Dwarf Castle fights, that's for sure.
So we do see Couch. He's not going to go for that package at this point, but it looks like he is heading towards the tower.
Definitely an interesting play here. They're still, I believe they're both still fading. They're fading Dwarf Castle, hoping that somehow, although there are no characters in the tower here, so.
Yeah, the only place we have the package character, the moon and giant characters, and the Eblon Cave, and I don't believe Couch has actually checked the Mysidia characters yet, but we do know that that is only another Sid and Edward.
Yeah. As pointed out in chat by Borenson, there could be an Earth Crystal. There are 2 key items here, so maybe he's hoping for an Earth Crystal, because then you have a chance at a couple of characters there, which is definitely another chance to pick up a Black Mage of usefulness.
Yeah, but, I mean, interestingly enough, with what our characters have received too, like the objectives, the only one we really have available to us is the Queen spot in the Town of Monsters. Although we do find some dolls here at the top of the tower.
Should not be seemingly, I mean, a little difficult, because as an all-physical party with dolls, you don't have the chance to AoE down them and basically take care of business. So we'll see how he plays this.
And I don't believe, looking at the inventory, we don't have any sort of hourglasses at this point, which can stop the back set of dolls.
So we'll see how that goes. We see Cassie doing some inventory management, some selling, some buying.
Although people are invalidating Cassidy's run, as he has not checked the job dwarf.
The fans will not be happy, although he does find Starvales and Bacchus wines in the Tomura gift shop. So
looks like he bought a Bacchus wine and a couple Starvales. Doesn't have that much money to throw around at this point, so.
That's very true, but I feel like those will be extremely important, especially since you only have a Porum in your party to cast Berserk, and having such a physical heavy party at this point. Although that can always change. Looks as though Cassie is continuing to loot here. There is only one trap chest here in the Feymarch, or the Land of Summoned Monsters, as the game likes to call it. So, and because it is a gated area, it is weighted to have some slightly better gear. He does find the warrior chest, but he saves scums out of that and is just going to avoid that chest now.
Yeah, so finding that allows you to pretty much loot everything else you want in here. Cassidy does have the one advantage down here. They do have the pan from that D-Mist check, so depending on if he feels like fighting stuff down here, I assume after this we would see that check in its entirety.
As noted by Starman Random, looks as though Couch has taken down the orange dolls, and normally when that happens, you see what you see. It's big doll time, or big doll, depending on who you are. So Calbrena has an interesting mechanic where if you're able to knock down all of the the dolls basically at the same time. They do not merge together. I did not know this as a kid growing up, and just figured at some random point that it turned into this big doll because I never avoided it. And then I learned that you can actually avoid it. Because Calbrino does glance, as you see there, turns your cane against you, knocking down buddies there.
It'll be interesting to see if Couch actually has enough damage to take down this doll before it splits again.
Yes, it also has another interesting mechanic where it can split back, and it splits back into the 6 dolls. Even though Couch had killed the first 3, the game just says, you know what, you get all 6 back too. I feel better now, Ollie. I thought I was the only one who ran into that problem during this boss, but looks as though Couch does get through there.
Yeah, does manage to take down the big doll. We do see Cassidy fading the fights in the fame out here. He did manage to pick up an hourglass in the cave there, so it was possible that he could have taken out that, the dark imp spot or whatever, but it feels like he might not be fast enough right now to get it off, or that he can always come back later when he's a higher level to make super easy work of that fight.
Absolutely.
So yeah, the queen spot is the dark imps, and then the king spot is either the Baron goats or Kaipo Wind goats. Or is it Bigan? I might have missaw the color.
I thought it was the Baron guards, but I could be wrong on that. As we see Odin hanging out in the super cannon room. So
luckily he does not have much health here and is taken care of pretty quickly.
Yeah. I missed what happened when Couch killed the dolls at the top of the tower. What was the item we received?
Looking at the tracker, it looks like we got a pink tail from the top of the tower.
Pink?
Cassidy hitting Yang with a pan, receiving the rat tail, which is one of our objectives. Unfortunately, we don't have the hook. We can't turn that in.
The dream is still alive. The dream is still alive.
Yeah, the pan came from the D-Mist, and the D-Mist was hidden in the waterfall, so...
So we can almost say D-Mist required. Almost, depending on... You could, in theory, fade Objective 2 and somehow pick up Darkness Crystal and avoid that, but I think I would rather beat D-Mist at Octomam and go and hit Yang with a pan rather than complete the Giant of Babel, but that's me.
Fair enough. And we will see here soon enough. I believe Cassie still has the entirety of Fabul to do, so we'll probably see a fight check and the 2 Sheila checks here.
Being noted in chat that the rat tail is going to have the adamant, so it's going to be a requirement anyways.
And it looks like the tower key is just giving us a protect ring, so not another key item here. Looks like Couch is deciding that it's time to do Dwarf Castle, which is interesting considering he can't warp that.
He's gonna Las Vegas and roll the dice and maybe pick up a Tella. If he picks up a Tella, it's a 200 IQ play. Let me just say that. If Tella's not the character hiding here, then into the sealed cave you go. Because you only get one chance to do this glitch, basically, so you can't come back later and warp out and come back to the crystal room. At least I don't believe so.
Lydia would only work if that second fight has enough experience to give her warp, which I don't know if it does. As Alice Hill's asking in chat, yeah, I'm not sure if I know she learns it really early, but I'm not sure if there's enough experience in that fight for her to learn it. Oh, the alt gauntlet? Yeah, probably would. We do have Ashura here in the first spot. I believe one of those Canes or Sid has a Rune Axe, which will do a lot of damage to this fight.
Yeah, but you wanna slow her down. Her cure 3s can definitely help her out, and her cure 4s to herself definitely help her out. Looks as though we might see the double star veil trick, and we certainly have. And now basically Ashra's not a free fight, but
We actually do see Cassidy having a little bit of trouble with these D-Lunars. It looks like that middle cane has some decent defensive gear and it's doing some okay damage, and does get through the fight with the last cane.
probably not quite how he wrote it up, but win's a win. Good news, at the end of this you do get a free heal, so all of your characters are back at max health, so definitely helpful there. So we see those cure 3s from Ashura reflecting now, so definitely helping out the party, giving Porum a bit of a break here.
Only Lydia learns Warp at 12, so it might be very close if she gets enough experience in a second fight, if we even see Lydia, that is.
Yes.
Alright, so we do see an Artemis bow from that first check, and the pass is the reward for the second bout of the pan. So the D-Mist, not... wait, did the first bout give the rat tail? So it still might be required.
Yep, it still might be required. Well, it remains to be seen, but...
I mean, I guess technically it wouldn't be, because it's not gating the Darkness Crystal, which would allow you to eventually find Legend Sword Adamant, kill the town of monsters, and the giant.
That's true. That's very, very true. We'll see where Cassidy goes now, as Couch is continuing to get through this fight, and finally does take it down there.
So managing to take out the Ashura, we will see who this character is, if they give us access to Warp, or if Luca Cave might still be alive. It's Atella!
Oh!
Goodbye, one of the Sids? Yep.
Wow.
So, yeah, Couch getting very much rewarded for doing this check. Gets the Tella last second, which will give him access to the Warp spell to allow him to do the skip of Luca Cave.
But he's got to get through leg first, so was it leg, chat? And Ruby can be... he's not too bad here. His glares.
That glare did like 400 damage. I'm pretty sure this is...
Yeah. This is not too bad here at the Golbez spot. There's only about, I believe, 3,000 HP here, so... and as you see, those Fire 2s aren't exactly doing too much. I was secretly hoping that Ruby would be in a different spot, but what can you do sometimes? But yeah, Couch never punished, always rewarded. So he will have his access to Warp, as Tella has all of his spells because Mountain Ordeals has been completed.
Looks like Cassidy is making the same play in Dwarf Castle, so we'll also have the choice of taking the Warp. We'll see what Couch is rewarded with. Gonna get the first reward here first from the King, which is the Earth Crystal.
Fun. Everybody loves that.
And gets the Warp off. For a shiny spoon.
All that worry just for a spoon. Does bring Couch's key item count up to a spicy 9 at this point. Definitely almost reaching that 10 key item threshold to get double experience, which is always nice. We'll see if Couch goes to look at the treasury, and it looks as though that's his next stop. So Time to
Yep.
play everybody's favorite game, Rate That Treasury. Because in this flag site in T Wildish, this is considered a gated um, treasury. It is usually stacked to the 9s. Usually, sometimes it's not. But you want to see some spears, some nice spears, dragoon spear, white spear.
The crystal ring, a massive mune, and a power shoot.
Not that great. Not that great. He was looking for some cane gear and got some edge gear instead. So I would rate it as a 4 out of 10.
A really interesting point of order, and there could be another one here in Earth Crystal. Couch hasn't checked Mysidia characters yet. There's an Edward there. He has a spoon. It's equipable.
That's very true. On this flag set, the spoon is an equipable flag, and it does give you just a paltry 255 attack power. No big deal. It's more powerful than the crystal sword. So
that's probably a pretty low end armory grab for equipment. I think it does get raised if there's an edge here.
Absolutely. Maybe this is what Couch is hoping for. So he's still holding off while Cassidy is going to get rid of
King Q. No, not King Q. Okay,
No.
King Q's gone.
Oh, such sadness. King Q was my favorite. Now it's just Kane S and Kane 9. Very sad.
Yeah, but as expected, both our runners picking up the tele here, giving them that warp. We got some Mom Bomb in the Mega Sister spot. Always kind of annoying to see this one in some of these spots as it gets that extra 10,000 HP buffer.
Yeah, it makes it just a little more difficult to take down here. But the couple of canes should be able to take that out. They're doing quad digit damage there. It's not too bad.
Looks like he's just going to berserk up one of the canes, sit here until his turn. If it does get the explosion off, which I'm not sure it will at this point. Oh, nope, never mind, Tele went down. He's probably going to use that Tele to take out the bombs, but...
Yeah, for sure. Tele does have some spells that you can use now, that especially since you've gone up ordeals. He's not terrible, he just has really bad HP progression, and he never gets any more than 90 MP, so that's why people don't like him.
You see Cassie taking out Rubicante, will receive their Earth Crystal and Spoon soon.
Probably wishing he had held on to that Edward just a little bit longer.
Yeah, and with the fading of the Twin Hub, that also puts Cassidy at 9 key items, I believe, because the pass does not count.
No, it does not.
Ooh, we have a Cecil.
Interesting. But we have seen no Cecil gear pretty much in this seed, at least not that I recall.
There's a couple of thought processes here. You could take him in place of a Sid, and then even if you do level him up a bit, keep him at that level 45 spot in order to use him as an agility anchor. We also have a Yang here, who is just much better than Sid with some levels.
Curious to see if Couch decides to take any of these along. It's not probably quite who he wanted.
Nope. He's good. He likes his bounty
good.
as it is.
He's happy with no Cecil and no Yang. I don't blame him. I do not blame him at all. And it's a gauntlet. So sit back, relax, get your favorite beverage out, as we're gonna be here for a little bit.
It's a shame we don't get a gauntlet in a more dangerous. Could you imagine gauntlet in element spot?
Oh,
cool.
some people are dreaming of those seeds, and I'm sure they're out there. We just haven't run into them yet. But definitely, Alt Gauntlet at Ogopogo is also a another favorite of the chat, I know.
Looks like Cassidy is gonna follow in Couch's footsteps after getting that Earth Crystal, looting up this treasury. Gonna get the Crystal Ring, Power Robe, and Edge Sword that we might not have a use for.
Worth money. Oh,
yeah, it's definitely worth money.
Cassie running into the inventory boss, so definitely not something you'd like to see. So while you're doing this, you're not moving, you're not progressing. I'm gonna take the full moon though.
Gets rid of a bunch of things, but does keep that full moon in case there's an edge. Allows you to back row glitch him, which can be very useful, especially if you end up going with like a Quint Pody, getting rid of maybe the Tella later, unless you're going to use him to level.
Exactly. Tella's utility now is much lower now that we've used him for warp, so you could, in theory, get rid of him and pick up somebody else if you wanted.
Cassie's trying to decide what equipment to throw whereas Couch is having a fun time with this alt gauntlet. Ooh, jelly slimes and creams with this pony.
Couch is going through the alt gauntlet here. Just make sure to give a shout out to our runners here, both Couch23 and cassidymoen. Give them a follow. They're super awesome. They do a bunch of stuff. We really appreciate them providing the amazing content. Also, our behind the scenes people. We've got Alicel doing the restream, making sure that everything works and nothing's on fire. Appreciate that. We've got Poor Scythe the back end, clicking the buttons to make sure everything lights up, although he hasn't been able to light up an objective yet. And to my co-commentator, Kobai, excellent streamer, excellent player of this game. Definitely give them all a follow.
Yeah, shout out to Nitsky1 as well. I mean, it's an interesting scenario. We are 55 minutes, almost at the hour mark in the season. We haven't completed a single objective on either side. I mean, one of them is available with the Queen of the Town of Monsters, but I feel like both our runners are trying to find some of those other objectives to finish off first, because they know that one is available to them.
No, exactly. It's I don't think it's a lack of wanting to. It's just a matter of they might do that at the end. That might be their last objective, or maybe, if you can fade it somehow, maybe they do that. Nobody likes the Fey March on purpose, so you gotta feel though, like both runners gotta feel as though they're both behind, considering where they're at.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely doesn't feel good to be this far into a seed with no objectives finished. We do see Couch finally finishing up that alt gauntlet here. It's gonna get his key item check. Let's see what he gets from the Earth Crystal here. It is the Baron key. So another 2 checks that they can make, another character slot they can get, and conveniently, you're right there at Baron.
Absolutely, you end up in Baron, and that is 10 key items for Couch. So he does now get double experience when he completes his questing and his destruction of bosses and other monsters. So that's also good. A lot of people like to do that.
Yeah, Couch going into the armor and weapon shop here, kind of sell off a bunch of stuff, potentially check what's there. I discovered yesterday, interestingly enough, that if you finish Baron before you open that shop, you can never open that shop.
Oh no! Wow, I never knew that.
Yeah, I was looking around for a back row glitch item and could not go in there.
No. Oh, good to know.
That is not true, Invenerable. I did it yesterday. Well, then I somehow made it horrible. Because I could not go in there, even though I had completed Baron. Maybe I'll test out that seed again later. But we do have Couch heading into Baron Castle here, while Cassidy's on the Mom Bomb. cannot remember who was the boss here that gave us our item. Ah, it is the water hag.
I was gonna say, I believe it's the water hag. I just wanted to double check and make sure. So this is the freest boss in the game. Normally, I believe in the vanilla game, water hags has something like 65,000 hit points or something like that. But it's a scripted fight with your old buddy Edward. Edward basically has to kill the water hag 3 times, or hit the water hag 3 times, and then at that point, water hag dies.
So just quick scripted fight, no problem at all, especially with the levels that Couch has at this point. We'll see if he decides to finish the throne here first, or maybe even check the basement. At this point, I would assume he finishes the throne, but...
We'll see. Perhaps he's surveying his options. I don't know if we've lost Couch's stream. Nope, he was just surveying his options there to see what he wanted to do, and he proceeds on, and it looks as though it's a dark elf behind the throne, so should not be too difficult at these levels to finish this off.
Now this spot only has just below 4k health, I believe.
Yeah.
So shouldn't be too much of a problem. Should get him switched over here pretty quickly. We are going to see if Cassidy makes any other party choices here, with a Cecil and Yang going to be available.
See if he picks up any of those characters while we got me change.
Looks like we do have taken advantage of the fact that Tella can weak it, though. I was about to say, if Kane landed that jump, he might have actually dispatched him before he was able to get the weak off, but now it's single-digit life and taken care of pretty quickly.
Absolutely. There's a mechanic, we'll call it, when Dark Elf turns into his dragon form there, that he loses a boss bit, so he can be weaked.
Yeah, and it looks like we do have Cassidy also deciding to leave behind the Paladin and the Karate Fighter, so...
And it's Iridia waiting for us at Baron Castle. We'll see if...
Nope, instantaneously dismissed. So yeah, we are very quickly running out of key items for these checks to give us. We know where the path is, we know where the Rat Tail and Pan are on character side, so there's a shiny rock, a sword, a hook, and a darkness crystal available somewhere.
We just don't know where.
And we get a ninja sword.
Not what Couch was looking for.
We'll see. It looks like he maybe... No, okay. He might have just gotten into the airship by accident. We'll see if Couch does decide to go and check what is on the throne in the basement here. Well, Cassidy is making work of this alt gauntlet. It's probably more of an annoyance than an actual challenge here, so... See if he realizes that he might need to res Tella or use some sort of item here.
It's definitely a possibility. This Couch is coming back in here, and do just a little more looting there. Picks up a coffin. And we will see who's on the true throne of Baron Castle here.
Is it the Baron Inguards?
The
Baron Inguards are the true king.
Who knew all along?
Looks like that's one coffin. Gonna make quick work of one of those guards. Also getting. Why is he throwing that life potion at it though?
I think Couch has forgotten. And hey, in a race, I've done the same thing. So
No, the life potion works. It's just it sets up a glitch which resurrects the mob and gives you double the experience for it.
oh, it does actually work here. I thought this was a 0 XP spot.
No, this is definitely the only 0 XP are what, King Queen Eblon and the second fight in the Baron Inn.
Memory's not quite apparently what it was, and the board AI seems to be on point there, taking down Tella every chance gets.
I'm being reminded that the top of Ordeals is also a 0 experience spot. Yeah. This goat is not pulling any punches, although finally getting off that weak spell with Tella. Gonna be in the single-digit health and taking care of you. So not too difficult of a fight. Keeping the Tella alive was the hardest part of this fight. Ooh, and we have a Darkness Crystal.
Looks as though we're going to the moon.
So it's interesting, because we don't have a hook anywhere, turning in the rat, well, it might still be in the Feymarch. We don't have access to turn in the rat tail. Which means, you know, Giant of Babel and searching for the two parts of the Excalibur are still open. And especially with Couch not having looked for the Demist, he doesn't even have the rat tail. Yeah, it's being pointed out in chat. The Demist was hiding in the waterfall, which gave us a pan, which gave us the rat tail off the Sylphs, and the second and the pass, I believe, from Sheila 2. Wait, is Couch doing what I think he's doing? So I believe what Couch is trying to achieve here is he's trying to set up the manipulation for a D-Machine Grand. Where we have Cassidy following up that Earth Crystal check with the Baron Castle check that he got from the Earth Crystal. A pretty standard kind of 1-2 there when you get it, so. Into the Water Hag fight. Couch is moving towards Mysidia, going to be activating that whale, looking like it's going to be taking the Tella up into the sky. Well, and then back to Earth for the Giant to fight a whole bunch of dragons. And then potentially complete the Giant of Babel objective here with all the levels that he receives. Cassidy moving up to the King, going to find the Dark Elf, and I'm going to assume also throw away Iridia afterwards. But again, with the levels in this spot, should be make quick work of the Dark Elf, and then we'll see if he also goes in for the fight against the Baron Guards on the throne. Conveniently enough for Couch, he does find Ether 2s right on this Mysidia spot, so gonna have some MP refills for Tella for weeks. Yeah, the pink tail was at the top of the tower. Cassidy has not done the tower yet, and I believe hasn't done the twin hub, which got you the package. See Couch now in the Giant of Babel, assumingly going to be going for his grind soon. Cassie also throwing Whittier away to the wayside, so no Black Mage for this Bodhi. I believe the Super Cannon only had a Protect Ring, if I recall correctly, or something of that caliber.
You're correct, Kobai. The tower key only had the Protect Ring, so bit of a womp womp. So apologize for that. I just had to step away for a second. Looks as though Couch is in the Giant.
Yeah, he was setting up earlier with some item encounters for a D-Machine grind here, so.
Okay. Especially with the new, not new, but new for our tournament, Can't Run flag. The D-Machine grind used to be a little bit different than it is now, so. Shout out to Twisted Flax in the community for breaking the code there again, so to speak, and providing us with a new way to find our favorite D machines to get ourselves a ridiculous amount of experience.
Invenable actually making a good point in chat. Couch is doing this grind without even checking the character on the moon. If Couch does this grind and then ends up with, like, say, an edge on the moon, he might have been, taking himself and not checking it earlier, having, I believe, 2 really good weapons for him. But, I mean, depending on how much experience he actually goes for here, that could be the least of his worries.
It definitely could be. He could also slingshot that edge, since it would be, I believe that it's 10 levels lower than the average. So these are level in their mid-40s, and edge joins at level 25. You could slingshot him that way. There's still a couple of bosses with some juicy experience. You've always got the ribbon room. It's always worth some experience. So
yeah, that's what Adam Hughes pointed out. He could have gone for a Spoon Edward as well, but I believe he's faded the character checks of Mysidia in its entirety.
Yeah, and he might just be happy with his party makeup there. I know Couch has been putting in a ton of work and has been trying different parties just for these sorts of occasions. So he might be comfortable enough to go with this group and go, you know what, we can get it done. I got 2 Canes, I got a Sid, got Tella, I got a Porum, and I don't need anything else. I'll have Tella sit on the ground, and could go from there.
Yeah, basically just getting to a point where you're happy with your characters, you don't need to do anything else, just stick with those. Looks like we do have Cassidy finally heading for the tower, doing some of these, the chest checks, which could reward you with some good items. I did not see what was, there's a crystal sword, so, I mean, we already faded the Cecil.
Yes, Allie, it's meaning it's my 9-month-old daughter. She was making some noise, so I needed to go and just grab her. So if you hear a small baby doing commentary, that's her. I believe Pixel Tamer median and average are the same. It's the same word, I believe.
Oh, one thing I didn't even notice, the Couch actually had found one Soma drop, which he gave to his Tella, which gives him that even 100 MP, which actually makes this grind a lot better because you can get 4 weeks out per pool of his MP.
Yes, always important. Week costing 25. You want to be able to cast 4 with your Tella. It makes the grind just so much easier, so much more smoother. Thank you very much, Nix Panicus and Commander Leonhardt in chat for helping me out with that. My math is a little bit old, so I might have messed those up. I haven't been. That's right, minutes. I might have messed that up.
Couch went for a pretty quick grind here. He already had some levels on his characters, getting himself, a clean 713,000 experience here, so. Does also end up pulling a Siren off that fight, so he could even potentially use that later for a little bit of extra experience if he wants.
Absolutely, and especially if he was at 10 key items, he didn't need to grind nearly as much as normal as, say, because he's getting double experience from those. So
yeah, looks like his characters are just around 50, low 50s. So yeah, got plenty of power here. Considering, even after this point, he might have to head to the moon. He's going to get a decent amount of experience off of all those moon fights as well.
Absolutely.
Mega Sisters and Element spot.
You don't like to see it. You're right, Scala. Math is for nerds. Is that right, Mini Nits? Math is for nerds? Of course, now you don't want to talk. People are listening.
It's like Couch is deciding to throw a Silk Web at these Mega Sisters before they're able to do much of anything to kind of slow down the reign of terror that may be coming along.
Well, unsurprisingly, they've already taken out Tella. Thankfully, for whatever reason, the magic power for them is not that great. That Fire Two only doing about 200, so it's going to be a slog. That's for sure. But I don't anticipate Couch going down, especially with his now 3,000 HP Sids and his almost 4,000 HP, 3,000 HP Canes and almost 4,000 HP Sid. And even Porm's got 1,700 hit points. That's pretty ridiculous.
I can't remember if Couch has a Rune Axe on any of his characters. Looking at the damage they're putting out, I don't believe any of them do. I believe that bottom one has an Ogre Axe, and I'm not sure what the back cane has.
I'll have to take a look at the animation and see if I can figure it out.
I mean, we do have Cassidy making quick work of the Odin in the super cannon. Only going to be rewarded with the Protect Ring at the end of this, and we'll see where they decide to go next. At this point, it may be time to go kill those bosses in the Feymarch for him. So.
Yeah, even this virus 688, it's not too bad. That's for sure. Looks as though Feymarch may come back to provide the ultimate in progression. Be very interesting if it held both the Legend Sword and the Adamant, sitting there the whole time.
And the interesting thing about that is, well, yeah, then I guess we would have Cassidy rush the Giant after that, and kind of fade looking for the hook.
Which I think that's Couch's play at this point. He's decided that this will be faster than playing Go to the Moon and look for a hook. So
I mean, at this point, Couch doesn't even have the Rat Tail, and that's hidden behind the D-Mist in a hidden spot. So.
Yeah, so from his standpoint, he might be hoping that the Adamant and the Legend Sword are easier to find. because if not, he could potentially be in some trouble, as we see Cassidy opening the Luca cave. It's very interesting. He did warp, if I recall, so...
And maybe that Cassidy's deciding that he doesn't want to do a D machine grind and is just going to be going for some levels off of these trapdoors with double experience.
And you said it absolutely correctly, Kobai. Your favorite trapdoor grind, folks. You don't get to see it too often. But as you can see, trapdoor gets angry and he disrupts you. So it's important to have a ribbon.
Immediately resetting out of that, apparently.
Oh, sorry, chat. Hopefully you enjoyed the 20 seconds of door grind there. Because I feel like maybe he's just rearranging his party there. As Couch continues to battle against the Magma Sisters. I've never seen all three up this long. Never.
I mean, it's at this point that Cassidy might be regretting throwing away that first ribbon. Because it would protect you from the disrupt on these doors.
Absolutely, especially with 3 out there. Give me a 3 and 5 shot of my party, basically a 3 and 4 shot, because you're gonna have Tella take a nap anyways. I have a 3 and 4 shot of protecting my party. I'll take those odds.
These sisters are at the element spot in the giant, so they have quite a number of health.
Yeah. It's, although it is split between the 3 of them, it's 60, I think 65, 61,000. It's hefty. I'm sure that there's some sort of a sheet someone put together that has that exact number. So
yeah, I'm not sure exactly how the split works, especially for this fight where there's 3 targets, and I think the elements have I don't even
4.
want to... Yeah,
I think they have 4. So, but then what happens is they're split in 2. So, Mylon and Ruby get 65,000, and Kinatsu and Val get 65,000.
definitely a bit of a slogfest here. It's going to give Cassie a chance to catch up with a little bit of this experience grind, whereas Couch did that quick D machine grind.
No, for sure. It's and their gear, as noted in chat, is, for T Wildish has been a bit of a disappointment in terms of the gear that's been available. So
yeah, like I think we have an Artemis bow on Sid that was the reward, and then we have a couple of axes on these canes. So like none of the crazy amount of spear drops or anything. I'm still unsure. Like, I don't like if there was a rune axe, we would probably be seeing a lot higher numbers from at least one of these canes. So, unfortunately, we're slogging through this a bit of the slow way.
Yeah, you give Kane one of those high-end spears, and he'll just go to town for you. Some people say he's a betrayer, but he can definitely put out the damage. You give him even a Zeus glove. I haven't seen a Zeus gauntlet yet. Those definitely help out too. And if you've got Porum dealing your magic damage, you know it's a unique seat, that's for sure.
Yeah, reflecting those whites. Now it's getting them automatically on Cindy, which does finish her off. So there's also another cool 205,000 experience in this party. As Venerable pointed out, those things had roughly 29k, 50k, and 25k health. So not the smallest amount of health on that fight there.
Nope, that's for sure. And I don't blame Couch for going back, cabining up, and saving. I would definitely not want to do that again.
So I'm gonna say he'll be going on to the CPU fight, and at somewhere past an hour and 22 minutes, we will have an objective finished.
Maybe. If he's able to get through it. I mean, his character's only at like level 52, so
To be fair, the way I worded it, it was going to happen no matter what. I just said past an hour and 22. I didn't say it was going to be quickly after.
It could be Wyvern. Wyvern, even at level 52, is a... Oh, it's Spy again.
What is the physical at this spot?
I believe the physical is gross. Even though CPU does no physical attack, it's got, for some reason, the coders were just, as you see there, 1512. It's I know mini nits. I know it's not good.
Oh, do it, do the meteor. Yes.
You gotta do the meteor.
Oh, 2100 to his Sid at the top. That is, even the vampire just took out Tella.
Ouch. This is, Ali, you've rolled yourself a good seed here. I think you're validated.
I think this is the moment when Couch is wishing, why did I do another set of dragons?
Yeah, I should have grinded just a little bit more, you know? Level 50 was too low. You need a level like 60.
Looks like we have Cassidy in about the low level 40s right now. We'll see how much longer he decides to go on these trapdoors here before moving on.
Yeah, get that Sid Berserk. That's my advice to you. You need to mow through. It's 30,000 HP, I believe. Someone in chat will correct me. It's either 30 or 40.
It's so long since I've done this fight that
I rarely ever run into this, or I'm usually pretty good with those numbers, but yeah, Baigan definitely taking numbers and mowing people down, that's for sure.
And there we go, the main body's destroyed, so we need to take care of these arms before they explode and kill off some of our party members for some more experience here. But
all right, there's one, and there's the other one. Thank goodness.
And with that,
casual 300,000 experience.
Yes, ton of experience. It's going to be a character that I'm going to guess is going to be faded unless they really feel like slingshotting someone. And at like an hour and 25 minutes, we finally get an objective done.
Almost. Once it pops up.
Oh look, another Tella. Now, does he take that Tella to keep him at a lower level?
I swap out the Tellas, to be honest.
Yeah.
Give me new Tella. Give me that new Tella. I want that. His starts at what, agility 8, I believe. New Tella. Yes, Alexa. I just realized I said that.
And objective is complete. And yes, he does switch out the Tellas.
That's a great play. Look at that, objective 4 complete. Poor Sky. Congratulations, you got to do some work. Only took almost an hour and a half.
Yeah, looks like with that complete, he's not going immediately to the moon. So my guess is he's going to be using his newfound levels to go and make quick work of those Feymarch bosses, getting him a second objective complete. And then if he does have to go to the moon, I mean, the other two are trading Rat Tail and Adamant, so he's going to have to come back to the Earth at some point anyways if he does go moon. But maybe he gets, Rat Tail Hook here. We know he won't because we know what the Rat Tail is. Maybe he gets Adamant Legend here.
It could be Adamant Legend. The Feymarch is not known for its gifts of key items in the Threemus zone to date, but there's always that first possibility. That's for sure. There's always that first possibility, and both of these again, excellent runners, bringing you all of this high quality entertainment. I cannot wait to see how this ends. Make sure that you do give them both a follow. They bring you amazing content, and we couldn't do it without great runners like them. They're both top tier, and this seed has been very, very unkind. We've seen some real jetties, and then I'll be surprised if we 145 this. That's for sure. So.
Looks like we have both of our runners making the same play after different grinds, different objectives, and it's straight into that Dark Imps fight for Couch. With these levels, this should be pretty easy. Like, they're gonna hit decently hard too, but like, I mean, he just fought a Baigan that was hitting him for 16 to 2100.
Yeah, and he's doing much more damage. Yeah, like hitting Porm for 460. And even hitting Sip for 945. He laughs at that. So.
In chat, PKD, the rat tail came from the sylphs, which the pan came from the demist at the waterfall. Ooh, stone. Goodbye, tokens.
Use the spells that old Mantella's got. You might as well.
White robe.
Oh, very unfortunate. I was secretly hoping for the legend Adamant Dream to be alive, but we do have our second objective complete. For Couch, he is just one. He's either a legend sword and an adamant away, or he needs to realize that Demist is at the waterfall. But I would say Couch is ahead at this point, even though he's behind in some ways.
It's going to be interesting if this king spot holds the hook. I think it puts Cassidy in the lead unless Couch goes looking for that demist. If this is the hook and then Couch just goes to the moon looking for the rat tail or the legend adamant, I think it puts him behind.
Absolutely. So secretly, you're hoping that this isn't the hook. I think if you're Couch, you're probably hoping that it's the hook, but secretly we know based on what we know that we don't want it to be the hook. And he uses stone there, like a boss. And those
some very good use of the stone spell to get rid of these fights here. What is he? It's a Leviathan. So moon. So that means the hook is somewhere on the moon, as well as both the legend and adamant are somewhere on the moon.
I know. Is it even randomized? There's been a lot of vanilla in this scene. For as much as it's been fun, we had Vanilla Mylon Z, Vanilla Leviathan reward there. There were some other ones I can't remember off the top of my head, but
so Couch is making that play to the moon immediately. So we're hoping for him, for his sake, he wants to find that legended adamant almost immediately. We'll see if he decides to delve deep into the lunar subterrane or check Bahamut first. In his position, I would go lunar subterrane. Though if Cassidy finishes his off, comes up, goes to the Bahamut spot, and that has the hook. There's definitely some interesting scenarios here.
Yeah, but moon is required in this case. So shout out to that. Let's see what our character is here on the moon as well.
Unless it's a teller, I bet you it's thrown away. It's an Edward!
It's Edward, so just as bad.
I mean, he has a spoon if he wants to slingshot him.
Yep. Do you take him?
Nope. Doesn't care.
No. Unsurprising. Couch has been happy with his party probably for the last 45 minutes, so...
So it'll be interesting to see what Couch does here. He does have the levels to take out anything here on the moon. He could go from the top here down and just take out bosses as he goes, or he could go for the mass quantity of items, which it looks like that's his play. He's going to go down, most likely to that ribbon spot, hit the Plague Altar, hit Ogopogo spot. He needs multiple items in order to finish this.
He does. So I'm in the same boat. I want to go for the item dense locations. The only thing that potentially scares you off is if, let's say, it's hook adamant. Then you're going on a wild goose chase.
Yeah. So another interesting thought from the Cassidy side is Cassidy hasn't finished the Giant of Babel.
No, and that's going to be some work. He's got the level. He's pretty close on the levels, like high 40s. It's going to be a slog.
Looks like Cassie's finally deciding it is time to do Twin Harp. Nope, never mind. Doesn't care. Leaving.
Changed his mind.
Going for Odin?
Maybe he hasn't... I don't think he's liberated the old Baron Castle there, so...
He has done the first part. I don't believe he went down to the throne to fight the Odin spot, which is
Odin
the
spot.
Baron Goats.
Yeah, which will give him his darkness crystal. He will be happy about that.
Yeah, the interesting thing is, does he then complete the giant, or does he go looking for items on the moon to finish both, the rat tail and possibly the forge?
Yeah, considering he has a rat tail, he's basically. I mean, I still think I do the giant over trying to find that if I'm Cassidy, as we see elements. I think this is in the ribbon spot.
Yeah, this was the ribbon spot, so D-Lunars have become elements. Looks like he's going to berserk up his characters and just hope to run through all the phases as quick as he can. Yeah, it's interesting. Because the pass also came from the pan, Couch is going to have to find his 2 pieces of the adamant and the Legend Sword, go back to Earth, exchange it, and then go back up to the moon to run all the way down to fight Threemus.
Definitely, probably not how he drew it up in his head, but happens sometimes. But with the levels he's getting and the hit points he's having, I mean, geez, Porm's got 2100. I know it's not 2200 like you had in your Seed Pipe, but you know.
And Cassidy finally grabbing that Darkness Crystal. Be interesting to see, does he go for the Twin Heart first, hoping maybe it's the hook to kind of finish off objectives, but we'll see here. With that Darkness Crystal, has options open, and we'll see which one he decides to go for. Elements fight going down pretty quickly to a bunch of Berserk party members at these levels, and we'll see what Couch is rewarded with here. He gets the Legend Sword and an Excalibur, so he's halfway there. Cassidy is summoning up that Lunar Whale now. But we do have Leviathan sitting in that flag spot. So, have we seen Ogre Poker yet? I don't think so.
No, I don't believe so. So, all these bosses are going to be a bit of a pain. Although Couch is clearly over-leveled. Clearly.
Yeah, with the HP values he has on all of his characters, Couch is in a pretty safe spot for all of these fights. Doesn't have the best weapons for these characters, but at these levels, it's not as detrimental.
Yeah, Wyvern might be the only boss, and that's just because Tella might have too much agility, and Wyvern would just be going too fast. And Meganu can still hurt.
One of the things I'm a little surprised at is Couch hasn't. Did he not have a bow on that sit at one point, or was that Cassidy? I don't know if he has a back row glitch on any of these characters to allow him to get another front row character here, but.
I think that was Cassidy who had the Artemis bow on one of his 3 sits at the time.
And we do see Cassidy making that play for the Bahamut Cave. Even if this is the hook, he's then going to have to go through and finish the giant, so it's giving Couch time to possibly find the adamant, which he does.
And there you go. Couch has been rewarded for all of his hard work. Cassidy is still not out of it. If Bahamut has the hook, he's still just a little bit behind because he has to do Giant of Babel, but he's definitely not out of it. With being over-leveled, although you have Antlion here at Bahamut is not.
He does not hold his punches either.
No, he plays for keeps in this spot. I do not like Antlion in this spot one bit. Hopefully Cassie can burn him down quickly. as Couch is probably super happy that, one, he didn't have to find the rat tail. Two, he doesn't need to find Threemus, because I'm sure that was probably his next move. Or close to his next move.
Is that Couch remembers that there is Bacchus wines here.
He did remember. That's always good. Beowulf, Antlion, outside of his vanilla location, in locations like this, can definitely take you to town. That's for sure. If Cassie didn't have the levels that he had, I would fully expect his party to be on the floor there, like Tella, but worse.
So a quick stop for some Bacchus wines. We'll head into Coco. We'll see if the shop here could potentially have some upgrades for his melee party here too. So don't count that out quite yet. Going to forge up that adamant. Get his third objective complete, receive his crystal, and then booking it right back to the moon for his date with Threemus.
As we've learned, chat, however, Couch does need to remember to speak with Coco, which he has done.
Yeah. Not even looking at that shop, he may just be like, I have it with this party, my equipment's fine, I don't care, let's go.
He may have done that also just to make sure he didn't forget. He might double back.
Yeah, maybe wants the Excalibur to sell, which it looks like that is the case. I did see power robes and a defense sword. Buying 2 of each of those. Oh, spending all the money.
Well, you know, God bless the Blizzard Spear, but it's give me a power shirt and a defense sword over Blizzard Spear when I'm fighting Z. That's for sure. So definitely, Coco had the goods at least to give his party a little more oomph.
Yeah, with all that equipment, like, he is set. This Threemus should not pose much of a problem. Power shirts. His Porum has, Lunar Staff, Ribbon, White Robe, Crystal.
You don't even really have to worry about nerfing. You can, of course. There's nothing wrong with that, but an unnerfed Big Bang, I don't see any of his characters going down. That's for sure. So I believe
as was said, the Bahamut spot just holding some Zeus gauntlets, not the hook. This is not looking good for Cassidy at this point for this race.
Yeah.
Couch in a great position with level 60 character. His pawn's level 61.
I think chat, this is one of the highest HP Threemus fights you may ever see. So get ready to enjoy the magic that is basically your childhood, because I'm sure that's all we all did back in the day as a kid. We super over leveled and then just came in here and face rolled. I know I did.
Yeah, and with Couch heading down this moon for his date with the final boss, we're starting to see some of the Z question mark flags in chat. Nitz, you know what's up with that?
So this Z question mark, I think this has to do with like zoodles. It's a can't pass, I believe. It's in Canada. It might not be in the US, but it also might be. Also, I see this who's butt. So it could be that Threemus is just too challenging to be able to randomize. Could you imagine basing Threemus in the Antlion spot? Big bang, boom, you're dead. So he stays in his position, but we have Scala Kitty, who is an amazing engineer in the community, has created more than 450 different sprites that are randomized on each seed. So basically, we get to see instead of ugly Threemus, you get to see something fun sometimes, like FF4FE, Zeromus. I saw Coyotemus, Wily Coyote recently. There are sprites from all over the place. So basically, it comes down to whose butt are we kicking today or tonight, depending on where you are in the world.
Exactly, yeah. Coach is heading down there. We do see Cassidy on that Peldim spot fighting an Octomon. Again, at this point, it's just the formality of finding the items they need to finish off this scene.
Yeah, get your choices in chat. Personally, as everybody knows, I'm the fan of Mike Tysomus, because that was the first Zoroma sprite I ever ran into. So I always like to see that one.
Another crystal sword.
Oof. For your non-existent Cecil.
I believe that means that the hook has to be on either Wyvern or Ogopogo spotters. Those are the only two things we have not seen at this point.
Yeah. It could be Z Flagamus is in there. I've seen that a couple of times.
But we do have Couch heading into this fight soon to throw the crystal, and we will answer the age-old Fui Enterprise question.
Whose butt are we going to kick?
Crystal is being thrown. The wine is being chugged.
Everybody is getting ready. They know their jobs. They know why they're here. His true colors emerged. My ridiculous 4k HP Kane and my 5k HP Sid.
Table flip a miss!
Where's Inveterable?
I don't know, for this scene, this is kind of appropriate.
Absolutely, definitely a table flip seat. That's for sure. Scala put me in this twice. So Couch is going to use slow to nerf his first big bang there. Takes out Tella, which Tella, your usefulness is done. So thanks.
It looks like Tella was about to put a wall on himself in order to get some reflected whites off, but eating that nuke, I'm sure is not too angry about that.
4,400 from the one cane there. Your Sid's doing 2,200. Your other cane's doing
2,300 from the back row is nothing to scoff at this point either. Like, it's not too bad. So
no, exactly. So doing about 7-8k roughly. Should definitely not be a problem there. That nerf Big Bang, he could take a full powered Big Bang at this point and probably not worry about it. Couch with the swag Cure 3. Cure 3 is slower to cast than Cure 4. It does take less MP, but who needs a full Cure 4?
I mean at this point, like even if he didn't fully heal some of his fighters, I'm pretty sure they can just make it through to the end.
Yeah, absolutely. Just put the It looks as though Couch has just put the controller down here. He's letting his Zerkers do their thing. They're taking things out there.
Yeah, we do have Cassidy taking out that element. About to receive the Legend Sword part of one of his fights. Be interesting to see, once he gets the Adamant, does he then leave to finish the Giant and Forge? Or does he continue looking for... I mean, I guess he only has 2 spots left to look for the hook. It'd probably be faster to just take out those boss spots. Assuming something like evil like Wyvern is in hiding there to immediately take his photo out.
It's definitely true. We haven't seen Wyvern yet, so it would definitely be a possibility. And Couch just making pretty quick work here. We see a Big Bang come out here from Flippamus here. And
yeah, an unnerfed Big Bang just did 1,100 to that point.
Yeah, and even 1,800, 9,000. You can still see they're not even hurting. Like they're just like, did that just whiff? And we got rocks. I think that Cure 4 whiffs somehow.
Potentially, I don't know. Either way, I don't think it's gonna matter. There is the end. Table Flippamus is down, and Couch is our winner.
GG. Congratulations to Couch with an official Discord race bot time of 1 hour, 47 minutes and 11 seconds. I believe we are going to get Couch in for an interview. Just a moment. Once the appropriate technical things have been taken care of there. But GG Couch, he moves to 1-0.
Yeah, we do see Cassidy getting that adamant. It looks like he almost. Oh, is he? Looks like he's gonna
tough,
take
dude.
the exit.
Yeah, you got 2 on the moon, or are you gonna do 2 at the giant?
It looks like the giant is going to be the play with the exit here. Gonna take a heal up first, and we are joined by Couch 23. GG Couch on the win in your first race of the Magma round.
Thank you.
So, give us your impression on the siege.
That was a slog and a half. Wow.
We definitely noticed that. Noticed a couple of things. You liked all the SIDs that we provided there, and the Tellas, and you got Kane, so you can't complain too much.
Oh, I loved having all 3 SIDs show up that early. It was great.
Oh, well, you missed another one.
Oh, did I?
Yeah,
there was a Sid and an Edward in Mysidia.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
You missed out on the lottery there, that's for sure. So what? I'm curious. The routing that you took was just a little bit unorthodox. I'm just wondering why you decided to route the way you did. Why route in ordeals when you don't even have any of those characters?
I don't know. Just
something to do.
I don't know. I didn't want to leave it just in case I ran into a Tella somewhere, because I wanted to make sure, say, if I ran into a Tella at like Dwarf Castle like I did, he would have warp. Like, it was kind of one of those plan ahead things.
Yeah, how relieved were you when that Tella did show up at Dwarf Castle, having no form of warp before that point?
I was stoked, so I didn't have to go use the Luca key. But yeah, I was pretty stoked to see that.
Yeah, it's definitely. We were all looking around like, I was wondering if you did ordeals even for the character check, looking for warp anywhere you could. Like, we knew you had the Luca key early, and then sitting there looking at your pony, going, "What do I do?"
Swing away. That's all you got to do with that party.
You didn't check the package though.
I didn't. I was more worried about finding key items than I was demist.
Okay.
Speaking of Demas, we do know where he was. He was hiding in the waterfall.
Oh my.
Cassidy found Demas fairly early. I think it was one of the first things he checked.
Yeah.
Don't worry, he only got you a pan, which got you a rat tail, which got you a pass. But even at this point, we don't know where. Well, we do know it's either on Wyvern or Ogopogo spot is the hook.
Is the hook. So you didn't get too punished for fading that. Also, not fading Antline and getting rewarded. Little surprised. I was like, Couch just gonna go headlong in. And look at that, got yourself a Magma key. That turned out to be a huge play, as Cassidy actually faded Antline key for a little bit longer. And yeah, that turned out to be a lot of the difference. Looks as though Hook was at Ogopogo. That's fun. So now that you're 1-0, what's next?
Just more practice. Prepare for my next opponent.
Well, we'll get LSL to roll you some more seeds here, so
That sounds good.
you can have the magic again. Thank you so much for coming out. Thank you for providing us with this amazing entertainment. Me and Kabaya in the booth have been thrilled with everything. Thanks for the music. NES, it was NES Ice Hockey, by the way.
Okay, I never actually looked at it. I couldn't tell what it was.
Okay, and that's what it was. So just in case you didn't know, was
All right.
was a non-RPG song, that's for sure. And table Threemus there. That was I think Venerable got into a second seat there somehow. So, any final thoughts or questions?
No, that's it. Thanks for the commentary. Thanks for the restream. Thanks for tracking. Thank you, viewers, for making this community awesome. And yeah, just thank you.
It's,
GG again, Coach.
GG again, and it's our pleasure again. If you haven't already, chat, make sure you follow both runners, both cassidymoen and Couch23. Again, they put out amazing content. Couch is really practicing hard, so if you want to see more FE practice and FE seeds and good time, definitely do that. Same with Cassidy, also putting in a lot of work. Also does some other randomizers there. So if you like that sort of genre, definitely give them both a follow. They really earned it this one. 147. Definitely, I don't see how you could defeat the seed any faster.
I mean, 147 when our first objective was down at 125, almost 126. So, you know, once we got one of those down, they fell away. I mean, there wasn't many things left to look for, but I mean, as we see, you know, Cassidy getting those two pieces of the forge, deciding to fade the rest of the moon and go immediately for this giant, knowing they have the levels, I can defeat the bosses. Let's go.
Absolutely, definitely a tough seed routing wise. There were a lot of different places to go and a lot of different ways that things could have ended up there. So definitely shout outs to them. I forgot to ask Couch about how does it feel to have a 5k HP sit?
Yeah, looks like Cassidy's levels are, you know, a couple behind, but again has all that equipment that he does have. We'll see if he throws away a tele for a new tele here for an agility anchor, and then I'm gonna guess forge that adamant. See if he buys a bunch of power robes as well, and then head into Threemus with the pass that he has. Doesn't have to walk the moon again.
Couch, how does it feel to have a 4k HP Kane and a 5k HP Sid in your Z fight? I had forgotten, then I just remembered.
To be fair, I'd probably be more stoked for the 2200 HP Orb, who took 1100 damage from a full Big Bang that wasn't.
Yeah, and I totally forgot. Porum just got forgotten in this. Definitely forgotten.
Yeah,
So
by the time you got to that Threemus fight, it was just a formality of the time it took him to be taken down.
So we do have Cassie getting through the giant there. I believe he ditched Tala.
Quite possible. I mean, at this point, again, he has so many levels. It's going to be a pretty much rinse and repeat of what we saw from Couch's side.
Yeah, you're going to see a lot of damage. You're going to see Cassie's going to be over the moon with those defense swords.
Yeah, getting rid of another ribbon, because who needs ribbons at this point?
Yeah, let's check the secret chest there, the 399 as I call it.
Gonna put on a black belt. Let's see if he immediately switches it out for power robes.
And oh, look at that!
Time to sell everything.
Time to sell. Yeah, there we go. It's, Crystal Sword will get me some money there, that's for sure. Sell that so much, Rob.
2 defense swords and 3 powers. Oh, he can't quite afford them. But he has black belts and other things, and a power already, so...
Yeah.
Ooh, that one... That Zeus gauntlet he got on the Bahamut spot gonna make a decent power upgrade to that game.
Yeah, you're gonna see them definitely doing some work, that's for sure.
Hey, don't knock the golden apples on that shop. I use them to quite a good advantage in the practice scenes. Getting an extra 700 HP for a Porum. Yeah, there we go. Objective 1 complete, crystal achieved, time to go to Threemus.
Yeah. No grinding, no goofing around. Cassie's good to go.
There we go. The one convenience finding that Mist Dragon actually is going to do for Cassidy here. Got the pass. Let's go.
Yeah, he definitely has a much shorter walk than Couch did.
Yeah, I believe Cassidy's about 4 or 5 levels below where Couch was, but I mean, with the equipment that he has and everything, especially I believe his one cane is back row glitched, that I believe Couch never actually managed to get off, so might have a bit more of a damage output here, but again, mid 50s, high 50s to low 60s is a ton of damage for Threemus.
Yeah, it's definitely above where most of these runs end up. That's for sure. We've seen runs in the low 40s. So having a fight at 60 is definitely more of a cakewalk. A lot less stressful. That's for sure. Should see one and done here. Well, his form's only 2,000 HP. So anything's possible.
I mean, with the damage output he has, he might only see one big bang, maybe 2. So
that's very true. So again, as we see, we're gonna see Threemus reappear here for all the fans and everything. Just take this moment here to again shout out our runners, Couch23, cassidymoen. Make sure you give them both a follow. To my co-commentator in the booth here, Kobayi, thank you. It's been a pleasure working today. To our restreamer, Alisal, who brought us this garbage fire seed. Thank you so much. I'm just kidding. She does great work. Make sure you give her a follow. And tracking, making sure all the buttons work and everything lights up for Skype. Another amazing person. Make sure that you give him a follow as well.
Shout out to Nitsky1, also doing commentary here. Yeah, as we can see, the counter nuke from a Silk Web doing 1300 to one of the canes still has enough health to live through any big bang, really. I mean,
yeah, like Z would really have to be eating his Wheaties there, I think, to do 2490 to that king, considering the gear he's got on and everything. And the first one's nerfed, so that's 800. So see Sid with an axe, 2800 there. That's always nice and ridiculous to see.
Yeah, the canes doing around 4K each as well, so definitely quite the damage profile for this. Gonna make very quick work. We may not even see another big bang depending on how quickly they can get these attacks out, but
for sure, you love to see fights like this where it's just you go in, you berserk, and you can almost put down the controller. It's a lot less stressful, that's for sure. And they don't, in races, they don't happen very often. Winging away, oh, another shake there from Flippy.
do have some falling rocks, so this is definitely pretty much almost over here. A couple more swings, and Cassidy will be finishing up this fight. Throwing another Silk Web just for fun.
because why not? Think Worm's gonna die from that nuke.
And with that final swing, we do have the flash, and Threemus does go down. Cassidy finishing with a official time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, 36 seconds. I mean, with what the seed threw at you, both these runners put up a great race. If you do want more Free Enterprise action, we do have more races going on later today. We have another restream at 7 o'clock on Randomania.
I believe so. And then 7:30?
It's like 8:30 back here on Free Enterprise channel.
8:30. I knew it was the 30 somewhere. And then a very, very hyped, excited rematch on RPG Limit Break at 9 p.m. For those who didn't know, Lord Bobbery and Neon Gray actually tied in their first race on Wednesday. So we are bringing you the rematch as per the rules. This is the first time in Free Enterprise history in terms of a tournament where we have had to have a rematch. So definitely tune in there, hype all these people, and just thanks again for coming out. What if second tie couch? I believe the rules indicate then they would have to re-race again. I believe.
They have to race forever.
They'll just keep racing until maybe they go to rock, paper, scissors. I'm not 100% sure. But that's why we have an amazing administrative team. They will be the ones to figure all of that out.
Yeah, as we have the end of that race, Cassidy's putting up a valiant effort, sadly getting a loss, and every match is gonna be even more important from this point going on. We do come to the end of this race with Couch being the victor.
Cassie has declined an interview, which is definitely fine. I've been there. I've done the same thing. So he's still not out of it. He's 0-1, but basically, as Kobayi said, back against the wall. You got to basically win him out, which he can definitely do. Getting into the Magma route means that you were 2-1 in the group stage, so definitely no slouch there. And we definitely look forward to seeing more of him and more of Couch 23 as he moves into the 1-0 Swiss bracket. And he will face a 1-0 opponent next week, and we will definitely see what happens from there. So for now, I believe that brings us to the end. I am Nitsguy1 with Kobahi. We are going to send you off to Marty56, who's doing some more Free Enterprise. So if you have some Free Enterprise action, or if you want to see some more Free Enterprise action, definitely check him out. Also, again, huge shout out to Alicel and Porsight behind the scenes, making sure that everything works. And again, to our runners, Couch 23 and cassidymoen, make sure you give them a follow. If you missed it, make sure you watch the VOD. Also, going into Marty, make sure he might want to see this race, so no spoilers as we raid them. And I believe that's all for this afternoon. Have a good day.